Hello. So I wanted to continue my story with what I started off with, but it seems that I'm going to have to put that on hold for right now because we have a much more immediate situation that's taking place with the coronavirus. And so I want you all to know that what's happening is definitely frightening, but that we have to begin to understand our role as world citizens. As world citizens, we need to begin to understand our role in all of this, and that's really a concern of mine personally. And I hope that I'll be able to shed some inspiration with the rest of us in the world who are not emergency responders, who are not police officers, who are not firemen, who are not government officials that are seemingly taking the time out to make this decision for us. We are by and large, for the most part, being advised to keep our hands clean. We're being advised to not gather in large, numbers and all that stuff, so that we don't either contract the virus or for those that may be contaminated or those that may be infected and not know it, won't spread it. Schools are being shut down, restaurants, bars, small business people are having trouble and all that. So again, as world citizens, for those of us that do not wear the uniforms of first responders and all, we too have a responsibility, I believe. And I don't believe that responsibility is something personally that the government has to come in and tell me. I think that there are just some things that go without saying. For instance, like when we were children and how we were always taught that when you use the bathroom, wash your hands. To not eat off the ground and not eat from just anybody, or in many cases, and this may, I don't want this to contradict my continual message that I have on Facebook about universal compassion. But sometimes, it may behoove you to not go to certain people's houses and eat either. And if you do, take a look in the bathroom and the kitchen and make sure that they're straight. And if they're not, hey man, do yourself a favor. Don't eat that. I've heard people say that they can pray over anything and everything is going to be fine, but I tend to follow the belief that God will not be mocked. And, you shouldn't put your life in jeopardy in certain situations, unless you're one of those people who absolutely have no choice. There are those of us that live in this world as world citizens who do not have the determination, the determining factor to do better than where we're at. So that brings me to this. As world citizens, our first duty when we came into this world has always been and is and shall remain as long as we walk the face of the planet, interconnected universal compassion. We have to be compassionate toward one another. We have to be compassionate toward those who may not. Several times at my restaurant, I've went and used the toilet area and watch guys come out of the stalls and everything, walk straight out the bathroom, and said, "How you doing, man?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine," But in the back of my mind, I'm saying, "I'm glad you don't work in the kitchen where, I work at, because we would have a problem." I would tell the individual something, "Hey, man, look, wash your hands." All right. But again, I just want to talk about our response to the situation because the government isn't going to talk to the average one of us about our role. They are going to advise us concerning how we should conduct ourselves, and that's all well and good. That's a sign of a responsible government. And not to downplay anything that the government is doing, because I am thankful for the intervention that they are, the efforts that they are making to try and bring some rectification to this particular circumstance that we are enduring worldwide. Nonetheless, I am also a firm believer that I have a responsibility and that I individually have a duty and that I personally have a role to play when times are both rough and when times aren't, So when it's all going good, the best of who I am isn't the only time that I let myself shine or I let the light within me shine. And when things are going rough, I do everything that I possibly can to, expand my own horizons. So my hope is that we would understand that our roles as world citizens extend far beyond what the government is or is not telling us to do, that we have individual unique responsibilities toward one another. And that first one is compassion. Be compassionate to your fellow man. When you're in the store shopping and it's crowded or whatever, do what you can to not have any altercations with anybody. If the product you're looking for is off the shelves, try to find a substitute product. If all the hand sanitizer is gone, go get some Dawn and Palmolive. These things are excellent. In prison, one of the things that we used to use a lot for disinfectants was actually the same thing that we used to brush our teeth. We used toothpaste, because toothpaste is an antiseptic. If it's going to clean your mouth, which is tends to be the filthiest part of our bodies, it'll disinfect your hands, and wash your hands afterwards. So there are just some minor things that we can do, and we can encourage others. If you have a stockpile of food because of having gone to the store and raped the shelves or whatever, think about the people in your community, in particular the elders, who may not have anyone there looking out for them. It's not going to hurt you to put some things in a bag and go over there with a little note saying, a gift from the heart. It doesn't have to have your name on it or anything. Sometimes the best gift given is the gift that's given in secret. So go and leave that to them. It doesn't have to be much. A little something goes a long way, because for the most part, elders that live by themselves aren't the ones who are strong enough physically to go to the store and push themselves through a crowd in order to get the things that they're going to need. If you have elders in your own family, you be the first one to be attentive to their needs and go and take care of them. Make sure that if you're healthy and younger than they are, that you clean yourself up, because you don't want to suscept them to anything that you may be bringing from outside. So it's just some minor things that we can do to be careful and to look out for ourselves and our own. Start with yourself, and then extend that compassion, that care, that love, that kindness to people who are in your family, your children, your elders, and those that you may have ill that are in your family. And that will potentially circumvent the possibility of their needing any kind of medical assistance that they very well may not be able to either afford or receive for whatever reason. The government is saying that there are going to be some things that are going to be coming out and all that. But as you know, they've extended the concern as far as the cautions that they are placing upon the public concerning this particular virus. So I think that one of the things that we should do is revisit the roles that we have as world citizens to begin to take care of ourselves, so that we can love our neighbor as ourselves and reach out to our neighbor and do whatever we can for our neighbor that they very well may not be able to do for themselves. If you have extra water, give them water. If you have extra clothing, give them clothing. If you have extra food, give them food. Don't sit back and wait on the government to come in and do what it is that you know that you are able to do for yourself and for your neighbor. Be a participant in extending your compassion to both, starting with yourself, and to people who may not be able to do whatever it is that they can to help themselves. I have to go to work now, but I just wanted to get that out. And the next time I come on, I will actually continue my story. But this has really been a truly a primary concern of mine, that when a scare like this goes out, we panic and tend to discontinue living compassionately and thinking compassionately about other people who are just as afraid as you are. Other people who may, in some instances, may not be able to take care of themselves as well as you can. Have some compassion, and you don't have to go out and try to save the world. Save yourself first. And in doing that, you'll be able to position yourself to be able to reach out and help someone else. Like I said, it may not be the world, but if you can help just somebody that may not be able to receive no assistance or may not be able to participate in free lunch programs with schools or whatever, if you've got some food at your house, hey, just ask, before I've got food. Is there anything that I can do to help out? And make sure that in all your giving, you give and you let go of the gift that you've given. No one owes you anything at all, except appreciation, a thank you, and leave it at that. You don't have to go around bragging about what you did and all that stuff there. Service to humanity is the greatest work of life. Service to humanity is the greatest work of life. So y'all be blessed and be a blessing in any and every way that you possibly can. I love you. Keep your head up, stay strong, keep faithful, keep prayed up. What's going on right now is going to knock us down for a while, but we bounce back and we're strengthened because of it later. Trust the processes that are taking place, because they are the processes that need to take place for the sustaining of our existence on the face of this planet. This isn't going to be the last time that some virus is going to come along. This isn't going to be the last time that we're going to be in a position like this. So all around the world, we want to stay prayed up, and we want to stay as positive as we possibly can. All right. Take care of yourself so that you'll be able to do all that you possibly can within your power to reach out and help someone else. I love you. Have a great day. Be blessed. Be a blessing.